Good Sunday evening, everybody. Hope everybody's having a whole lot better weekend than I've been having. Um, if you can't tell by the way I sound, I've got a little sinus infection and chest congestion thing going on. Um, so, damn, I just haven't felt real well. So, we got Lisa in here. Thank you, Lisa. Sam, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for stopping in. There's Ben. How you doing, bud? Thank you all for stopping in, hanging out. Um, I did go to Mark and Sandy's daughter's wedding yesterday evening. It was a fabulous time. Nice little wedding, uh, right by the family or by the family lake there, a little pond. Really nice weather. Not real hot, not real cold. Reception was awesome. Uh, yeah, just had a really good time. They make such a good couple, Kyle and Kaylee. Um, just I'm glad they found each other. So, Shaggy Rifleman, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for stopping in. But we got Daryl in up here on the live stream with me, where he's having puppy issues right this second. So uh, he'll be back, I guess. So, but yeah, I ain't got a whole lot this weekend. So, oh, there she is. There's Miss Millie. Got to be the center of attention. I finally got down off the hill into the RV park. Yeah, Sam, we got like a misty rain today. I did go out and mow my grass today because I needed to get it done. And of course, the whole time I was out there mowing the big part of the backyard, um, it was kind of spitting, misty, little misty rain. Um, but about the time I was done, it had moved out, and the sun had actually started coming out for a little bit, and um, it turned out to be a nice day. Getting new neighbors across the street. The sale finally went through, and they've been moving in all weekend. I haven't went over and introduced myself. They just seem like they've been pretty busy, so we'll wait till they get moved in and stuff. But seems like pretty decent couple or family. I haven't seen no kids, but you know, it's a normal everyday occurrence here in the neighborhood. So, but yeah, that's basically all I got going on this weekend. I didn't. I slept in this morning a little bit. Slept until like 5:30. Got up, went to Walmart, picked me up some meds, and come back home and just hanging out. Hey, backwoods boy, how you doing?
Well, hey everybody that I missed. I'm sorry. Delisa had something she had to tell me right beforehand. So I want to say hello to everybody. Sam, Shaggy Rifleman, Lisa Ann, Backwoods Boy, everybody. Uh,
I kind of hope Demo Don stops in again tonight. He contacted me via email.
Oh, she said
Uh,
I was the worst.
he he asked to have some photos of the prize. I sent him the photos, and I haven't got an address or anything to send the stuff out to him. So um, I don't know. Hey, Roadrunner, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for stopping in.
Runner.
So yeah, hope he stops in this evening. And, find out if he wants me to mail this stuff to him or not. So if he doesn't, then I guess we'll have another giveaway. Same old stuff, but we'll give it away to somebody else. Fixer Strip, how you doing, bud? Thank you for stopping in. So, um, I don't know if I told you all that my son-in-law, ex-future son-in-law, whatever you want to call him, he dropped me off another snapper about a month or so ago. Doesn't have an engine, and of course I went on the marketplace and was looking for engines and stuff. I actually found one, same engine that's on the other little snapper I have, electric start, little like 7 horse or something like that. $30 and it runs. So we're gonna be building another tugger. I was wanting to put a big V twin on it, but I can't find any or vertical shaft V twins for a decent price. So we're just gonna put a little regular old little engine on it. So no big deal. We'll strap runners like we did the other one, and we'll have twin tuggers. Maybe we'll have a pull off against between the two. So, but
Well, it's a good deal. I mean, all you is what about these uh uh engine off of for what the heck, a pressure washer? Is them the right kinds?
yeah, the ones that had the vertical shaft, yeah, that'd be the right kind. But I wanted something that had electric start on it because this one actually has the key and everything all set up, all the wiring and everything for electric start. So, um,
I,
and
I just my case.
Sam, I actually thought about putting a 20 horse. I got that homeless Honda out there in the shop. I thought about putting that 20 horse Honda on it with a straight axle, but I want reverse.
Always Honda. What are you talking about? No Honda should be Honda.
That's that Honda motor that Mark didn't want anymore, and
I
it
don't
was
care if
homeless.
it's a Honda on it.
It was homeless, so I took it in. So I called it the homeless Honda.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, I'm sorry about hearing that, Lisa. Her main screen on her main computer died, so she had to get on her laptop. I've got a Dell screen here sitting. I need to plug in and test. Somebody gave it to me.
Really?
she wants to be the star of the show, folks.
She cannot stand it when she does not get attention.
And it's gotten so bad that I can't even talk on the telephone or anything. It's climbing all over me.
Oh, she's a riot.
She thinks she's the center of the world.
Yeah. And
Yes, there's a small engine junkyard thing down south of me here too. Um,
uh,
I wanted a more modern engine than the original Snapper engine that was on it. So I went on Marketplace and looked for electric start push mowers, and a bunch of them popped up, but they wanted big money for them. And this young man had it for sale. $50 for the whole push mower, $30 for the engine only. Messaged him, and he got right back to me and said, "Sure, I'll take 30 for it." And I said, "Okay." And he was actually a little local to me, 10 minutes away. So met up with him, got him. Engine turns over. I'm assuming it has spark and stuff. He said he just pulled it off, and you could tell he just pulled it off the deck. And the pictures of the deck, I know why he was getting rid of it. Had a big old rust hole in the side of it. So it was a Cub Cadet push mower, one of the ones with the caster front wheels. And so he said he's just trying to recoup a couple bucks from, to buy something different. So if I would have thought about it, I would have seen if I could have worked a deal where one of these other push mowers I have sitting out here that run, see if I can make them a deal and just trade them. But I said to heck with it and just paid them the money for it and everything. But so look for that project coming up.
well, I was looking on Craigslist the other day, and they had a Cub Cadet, a diesel, or a little diesel job. I mean, uh, I don't know how expensive that. I mean, I don't know. I think it was probably be more than I wanted to pay for it because it didn't actually have a price on it. But
Yeah, I think they were like a 982 series garden tractor, come with a diesel on it.
Mm-hmm.
Might have been like a 982D or something like that. Um, I know a guy that's got about 8 or 9 of them sitting in his barn. He collects Cub Cadet tractors, riding mowers, and
Mm-hmm.
they're all the 52 series. 652, 752, 852, 952s, and he's got a whole bunch of the diesels. He said every time he finds one, he buys it up. You know, so I tried talking him out of buying. Tried to talk him into let me buy one off him, but he wasn't having it. So
Well, would they won't let you run one of those in the pulling competition? Would they?
yeah, they will. They actually have a diesel class.
Oh, they did. Good. Hey, Tommy.
Hey, okay, Roadrunner. Thanks for stopping in and saying hey, buddy. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Appreciate it.
Have a
Hey,
good
Tommy,
one,
how you
everybody.
doing?
Now that would be. That seems like that the lower it would have a lower torque rating on as far as the motor goes. To,
Hmm.
but they would probably pull farther. That's
Yeah, if you can get them hooked up, they pull pretty good. Mudster, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for stopping in. He says he's dealing with rust holes in his oil pan. It's a problem with buying one that's set for so long. Yeah, um, unless it's a Dodge, um, they rust out even if you're driving them. I done had to replace the one on my my '94. I had to drop the oil pan and replace it because it just plumb rusted out. It wasn't leaking, but it was weeping, and clean it off with brake clean and along the bottom corners and stuff. Basically, where they stretch the steel real thin, you could see it starting to weep. Had little rust on it. So, but it was fairly easy to pop that pan off and put a new one on there. And then my '96, I actually did a oil pump on it. Did it within 45 minutes. Drained the oil out, popped the pan off, made sure the pan it's actually a good pan. Pop the oil pump off, put a new one on, throw it back up together with the new gaskets, and away we went. The diesels actually do fairly decent. They have both turboed and non-turboed classes usually, and the guys that run the turbos, they really get down. They do really good. So they've got their own class and everything else because there's guys that go full tilt on them things and they they get down. So, but it's like any other class. If you want to run with the big guys, you're going to pay big money. So
yeah.
that's one reason I've never really got into building a diesel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for sure. I mean, I was watching a YouTube video the other day of a guy. He's having to rebuild a Cummins for the something 15 or 15 what liter diesel and him doing it most of the work himself. He said it's going to cost right at $30,000 to rebuild it for a road tractor. I mean,
Oh yeah, the prices are getting ridiculous. So
uh,
um,
and it's all like it's kind of the same thing about it is if you can get parts. I mean,
yep.
if you can get new parts to do it. I mean,
Oh, yeah, that ain't that the way it works, Mudster. You just want to slather some RTV on it, but your RTV is all hardened up because you haven't used it. Um, I don't know how many tubes of RTV and stuff I've thrown away over the years because of that.
yeah.
Oh, I got some of that over there. Go over and it's like, yeah, it's hard as a rock. So
That or uh, the that or what's the stuff? The stuff you make fake what that you put together, you squeeze together, and all that stuff to make
Oh, the two-part epoxy.
yeah. That's the every time you think you're gonna, every time you use just enough out of it to get it started, and then all of a sudden it's all hard. So
Yeah. When I worked at the graphics company, we had this. It was a two-part epoxy, but you used a special caulking gun, and it had these long needles that would actually mix the stuff as it come out. And if you forgot to take that needle off and clean that tip within 10 minutes, that shit was so hard and so bound up, you weren't getting that tip off there to get that goo out. Sometimes we'd actually just cut the end of the tube off and just squeeze it out onto a piece of cardboard or something, mix it up and slather it on that way so we wouldn't waste it. So,
hey, Lee, how are you?
hi Andy. But so
Yeah.
So if anybody knows Demo Don, the Adventures of Demo Don, have him get a hold of me. He emailed me. We emailed back and forth a couple times. He asked for pictures of what he won, and I haven't heard anything from him since then. So he didn't give me an address or anything to send the stuff to. So I'm still sitting here and holding on to it, waiting to, I don't want to have another drawing if, he's going to send me an address. So Cub Cadet 108. I got a 108 out there. That's what I used to plow my snow with. It was actually my dad's. He bought it and mowed grass with it for a long time. The mower deck finally went bad, and I put a snow plow on it. It's actually a Power King snow plow I put on it. I love my little 108. Yeah, snow. I thought about looking for a snow blower for my new Cub Cadet, but I don't know if I want it out in the snow, so we'll just let it rest in the barn over the winter. Well, I told you all that I mowed the grass. Yeah, remember to check the fuel before you start mowing, because usually whenever you run out of gas, it's the furthest away from the garage.
Exactly.
Yep.
And when you're up here over here in the mountains where I am, the backyard has got one heck of a slope, so you got to go try to walk up. I'll walk up the hill and everything else.
And especially with the snow and slide down and fall.
What kind of issues is the clutch giving you there, A&D? You're talking about the transmission clutch, right? Not the PTO clutch? Those clutches are pretty simple.
They need to go watch some of those videos that those electric cars do. And the reason why Tesla.
If you're having issues with the clutch not disengaging, bet you it's the pilot bearing up in the driver. It's gummed up a little bit, and it's not letting the shaft spin free. I've had that issue on a couple different ones I've gotten. People say the clutch is bad and blah, 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 and all that. Strange clutch spring keeps popping out on it. You talking about that little teaser spring in there, or the actual clutch? The actual transmission's popping out of gear. Because if it's popping out of gear, either the detent's bad or the teeth are wore down enough that they're rounded off too much, and it's not letting it have friction enough to hold it into gear.
1855.
The little teaser spring.
1855.
Yeah. The best thing I can tell you on that is you're going to have to get a new spring on it, and probably a new drive shaft, the shaft that runs through it. it's probably worn and not letting that little spacer and stuff slide on there enough, and it's catching and digging in and then unwinding it. But yeah, I had one I picked up for like $50. I mean, it ran beautiful. Uh, guy could you push clutch in, and the guy had it adjusted. I mean, he had the clutch adjusted so much. I mean, it was actually the throw out shaft was trying to bind on the shaft, and all it was is there's a little pilot bushing up in the driver that lets that drive shaft spin free. That thing was froze up solid, and so every time disengage the clutch, every time you disengage the clutch, the shaft keeps spinning. So
Sorry, people.
it's all right.
Oh, tell them this is the aliens came to our house last night, and that's the hats they bring us.
That's what all she's got left of one of their singing dogs or
It's
something.
a UFO hat.
I mean, but she ain't killed the volume on it yet. So.
She's mad though. She will.
She will sling it and throw it and everything else. So.
A&D, if you take that clutch that's been setting apart, clean up the surfaces, clean up the shafts, everything runs smooth or slides smooth on it, I'd trust that thing, no problem. All right, fix it. Appreciate you stopping in and saying hi, man. But yeah, I've ran those clutches for long time. As long as they're just make sure that pilot bearing, that throwout bearing slides on there nice and smooth, and make sure that bearing up in that driver that's mounted to the motor, make sure it spins free. Sometimes they're just a brass bush, like a bronze or brass bushing. Sometimes they're an actual bearing up in there. So just like I said, just make sure that they're free, because what will happen, like I said, up on that driver, it won't let that drive shaft spin free from the motor, and you won't be able to get it in and out of gear. It'll just keep wanting to drive.
Ask Ed, did he get that video of that tractor I seen?
Oh.
Yeah, it is kind of a pain in the butt. That's why, like, when we built the pulling tractors, we put a long coupler back by the transmission. That way we can pull the clutch back from the motor without having to disconnect the motor.
Instigator my ass.
Delisa wants to know, did you get that video of that tractor that she sent you the other day, Ed?
Probably. Like I said, I haven't been on my phone and stuff very much lately. I'd have to go back and look.
He got our.
That's fine.
It's a mower, but it's a pulling mower, but it looks like a mini semi truck.
Oh yeah. I've seen that.
That was so funny. I was like, oh my god. And that dude put a lot of money in that thing too.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
Yes, Tommy, you can put some dry graphite on there. That helps out a lot too. Just gotta watch you don't use anything that can fling out and get up on the clutch disc itself.
Yeah, I used to use that dry graphite on my binders and stuff when I ratchet binders and all that stuff. That dog, if you try to use grease or something another on it, and you get all dirt and all that stuff in it, so. I always had some of that spray graphite stuff on there, kind of like a paint, and just painted them with it, and it worked perfect on it for that kind of stuff. So
yeah, I get some stuff through Napa. It's a spray, it's a liquid. You can spray it on, but then it dries, and
yeah, that was kind of what I used it was in a spray can, but you just shake it up good and spray it on there, and and it wouldn't bind up or wouldn't get dirt all in it. Dirt like if you try to use grease or something in it. So
Yeah. AD says he's got got a Ford L100 pulling tractor. The old Ford tractors were pretty decent tractors. I just like to stay away from the belt drives. One, it robs power, and two, by the time you get them pulled tight enough, sometimes it's hard to push the clutch in to get them to release. But my actual second pulling tractor, but the main one that I got into the bigger classes with, it's a belt drive, but the belt's only 20 some inches long, so it doesn't have a whole lot of stretch to it. Oh, okay, that one's the shaft drive. Nice. I see a bunch of guys try to use the Graveleys, the rear engine tractors. Good concept, just they don't make real good pullers because of the clutch setup on them. Hey Tommy, how you doing, buddy? So there should be no ads during the live stream. Hey Ken, how you doing, bud? Thank you for stopping in.
yeah.
Okay, shaft to chain, nice. Yeah, I actually went through the monetization thing today and looked at it real close and turned off ads during live stream. So there should be no ads during the live stream. Probably just at the beginning and at the end. So that way, if Bocce does happen to come in, she don't have to yell at me for having ads in my, I mean, she'll still bitch about them, but nobody else will have to sit through it. And if y'all did watch my last video on the golf cart axle, yes, I know the sound was only on one channel. I have fixed that problem. That only happens when I was using my cell phone, and I figured out that my cell phone has two microphones, one at the top, one at the bottom, and the one at the top had grease in the microphone hole, so there was no sound getting through it. So I got that all cleaned out, and I did a test record on it, and now we're back to stereo. So it's awesome. I just picked up an empty snowblower with a Tecumseh engine on it. Yes. Ooh, that's not good, Thomas. Need to be more careful there, bud. That's why I mean, unless they're like really long, sturdy ramps, I don't like using ramps to load and unload stuff.
I don't either. I thank God I'm living. Like I said, I got a hill out here that I can back up to, and my trying to drop the tailgate down. That it's just the width of the tailgate's the only drop I got. So I mean, so it just happened to work perfect for loading them doggone ATVs and stuff.
Yeah, I've had too many bad experiences with ramps. I mean, I've got a set of ramps out here if I need to use them for something, but I don't.
You get a run and start, and you pull up on the handlebars, and you're there.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. You are absolutely right, Scott. The sun did go on strike this weekend. Like I was saying earlier, when I was out mowing, I looked out before I went out, and it was kind of like half sunny. I'm like, oh, it'd be a really good time to go out and mow the grass. When I went to the grocery store early in the morning, there was no dew on anything, so I knew the grass was going to be dry. Went to the shed, got the tractor out, and just as I started mowing, I noticed little spots on my glasses, and it misted almost the whole entire time I was mowing. As soon as I got done, that mist, just as I was finishing up, the mist went away, and the sun started to kind of half butt come out. So, yeah, it just waited around long enough for me to get the grass mowed and then went away. So
That's kind of the way it's been around here. The dew's been so thick that you got to wait to 12:01 when you start, and by that time the afternoon showers are popping up. So I ain't cut grass in about 3 weeks now. So
It's going dormant.
I usually try to cut mine on either on Saturday or Sunday, depending on what I got going on. And I should have got out there yesterday morning and did it, but I just I wasn't feeling well, and you know today I kind of forced myself to do it because I knew I needed to knew I needed to get it done. So
well, luckily it looks like this grass is about ready to go dormant. So it's not really gotten that much thicker, but it's just
Yeah, but if it's
and
mowed again, it will.
it'll get mowed one time more. That'll be the rate of leaves. That'll
oh
be
no,
But we ain't got no leaves. I cut them trees down. They gone.
no, the grass around here is still growing. It may not be growing as fast as it was, but it's still growing. I mean, I took probably 2.5 inches off my grass today alone. So, and for all the new people that just come in, if y'all happen to know Demo Don, the Adventures of Demo Don, have him get a hold of me. He emailed me right after the live stream last week after he won the test kit of stuff here. He never sent me his address. He asked for pictures of what he won. I sent him pictures of everything, and I haven't heard anything back from him. No address or anything. So hopefully he'll get a hold of me with an address if he wants the stuff. I've emailed him a couple times saying, hey, if you want the stuff, that's cool. If you don't want it, just tell me. I won't get mad. Just let me let me give somebody else a chance to win it. So, hey, Mike, how you doing, bud? Thank you for stopping in.
Mike.
So, hi, baby boy Thomas. Yeah, Tommy. Basically, anything over 50 degrees here at 45, 50 degrees, it'll grow here too. So, what's the baby boy Thomas thing? I don't guess I'm missing something.
Me?
No, Scott said hi, hi, baby boy Thomas. I guess I'm missing something. Oh. Anyways. So, but and I'll also let. Oh, he called me old man. Okay, I get it. Okay, I got you. I'm sorry. I'm on cold meds, y'all. I'm a little slow.
Well, I thought maybe they were advertising their OnlyFans channel there for a minute. I mean,
maybe. Yeah. I guess we got about a dozen people in here. I've been contacted by a couple companies via email. Want me to test a couple products, a couple different places. So hopefully y'all don't mind some product testing videos. So the one company I've been on and off with them for about a year, going back and forth about stuff. Finally come to an agreement, and the other one just out of the blue hit me up, and they're gonna send me a couple products to test and show you guys, and if they like the video I make of it. Of course, you got to make a video, send it to them, let them view it. If they agree, cool. If not, then either redo it or you don't put the video out and send the product back. So Yeah, perks of the job. Yeah, but I like to entertain you guys. I don't. I really don't do this for for to make a profit. I mean, I'd like to make some money off. I mean, nobody wants not to make money, but I don't do it to get free stuff. I don't do it to you know kind of show off. Oh, looky what I got. Looky what I got. Look what I just bought. Um, so I don't know. I feel weird about it, but like I said, if it's something that I can use in the shop, and they want to send it to me for free to test, why not? I guess.
Well,
I just you know I don't like I said I don't want to become one of those channels that all they do is do promote well, I got this and I got that and blah blah blah, and this video is brought to you by you know
yeah.
dig 'em smack 'em puffs so so oh, ain't that nice, Lisa? You giving love.
It's a love-hate relationship we have.
uh, I had one of those, but so yeah. The one company actually wanted me to have a video out by the end of September. The product probably won't get here until the end of the week, and there ain't no way I'll be able to get a video out before the end of September. So we're gonna have to agree on one in October. So
Yeah, because I mean, if I'm kind of like you. If I ain't tested the product, I ain't gonna endorse it if I can't test it. So
exactly.
I mean,
Maggie, chill.
Uh-oh. Maggie must be in a mood too.
Maggie's always in a mood. Okay. Yes, I see. Yes. Get down.
my dog's in that mood a while ago, a little bit earlier. Hopefully, she's over there behaving right now.
Oh, earlier this, thinking about you guys as dogs. Earlier this week, a friend of mine sent me a picture of a I don't know if it's a new breed or what, but it's a miniature German Shepherd. It looks like a Yorkie, but it's a German Shepherd. It has all the markings of a German Shepherd. And the picture she sent me of this dog, instantly I thought Ewok. It looked like an Ewok. The eyes and the black nose and everything. I'm like, it's an Ewok. It's so cute. It needs a little hood.
Turn this on. This is what you like.
It is a breed,
I've been leaning more and more towards getting another dog, but I can't pull the trigger on it.
I almost sent you Stratton a couple times.
Yeah, I just hate being away from from home so much and leaving the dog all by itself. I mean, that's just
then don't get one.
That's not fair. That's not fair to the dog. Yeah.
If you're only going to work, Ed, it's not like you leave. Believe me, I know you. If you had a dog, you'd take it to the tractor pulls with you, for Christ's sakes.
Oh yeah. When I had my chocolate lab, before I met my ex, I would go to work because I lived in the apartment in the bottom of my old house with my ex-wife. She would take care of the dog all day, let it out, all that kind of stuff. But as soon as I got home, if I was going anywhere, I would swing by, pick her up, and we'd go and hang out. But I'm gone usually about 10 hours a day. And that's not I don't feel that's fair to the dog to have it either penned up or just here hanging out 10 hours a day by itself,
I do it with Maggie. I leave her alone, and when I come home, she sleeps all day anyway. She's fine.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, though.
You know, now it'd be different if I could take it to work with me. You know, because I actually asked him about if I got a dog and got it registered as a companion animal, because we have allowances for companion animals with students and stuff. If I would be allowed to bring it to work with me, and they said legally there's nothing they can't stop me from doing it, but they would prefer not because of the environment I'm in. It's a dangerous environment for a dog. I'm like, if you teach it to be a shop dog, it'll stay out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So
Yeah, if you had a shop dog, he'd lay on a bed, or he or she, whatever.
All them students coming and going through that shop, Ed. All them people, everybody petted to death, and
yeah,
and that's the thing about it. They'd have it so spoiled that even on your days off, they wouldn't want you.
Hey, Scotty Rides, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for stopping in.
Hey, Scotty.
But yeah, the only drawback about that is if I had to go out and run a piece of equipment, like or a snow brush or whatever. If I got too big a dog, wouldn't fit in the cab with me, so they'd have to stay at the shop. So, but yeah, my chocolate lab, she would come out to the shop like in the summertime if I had the garage doors open and stuff. She'd come lay outside the shop and stuff, but like in the wintertime, she didn't like being she didn't like the loud noises inside the shop. Now my black lab I had, dude, it didn't matter what I was doing out there. I had a bed out there that out in my old garage when I used to be married. He'd go out there, he'd curl up on that bed and just chill out with me and hang out, and if he had to go to the bathroom, he'd go to the door, let him out, back in he'd come. So, but but yeah, my chocolate lab, I mean, she'd go any place with me, but she didn't like the loud noises in the shop. So
Maggie's the polar opposite. I take her outside when I mow the lawn and tie her to my old swing set I had when I was a kid. And she sits out there and watches me mow the lawn. She's actually, you got to watch her. She'll walk right up to the lawnmower while I'm running it. So, yeah.
Oh, she didn't mind like the lawnmower and stuff like that because I never tied her up. She'd always stay, in the yard and stuff. I'd let her out while I was mowing grass, and she'd be out there, running back and forth, doing whatever. And it's just the power tools and stuff she didn't like.
Oh, that don't bother Maggie. I gotta tie her up. Craig, she sees a squirrel, she'd be gone. She'd chase that squirrel to hell and back. She don't care.
Hey, Jeff, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for stopping in. Hope you're doing well. Oh, okay, he has an English bulldog. I looked at bulldogs. I just don't like the drooly mouth.
Oh, God, that's like a Saint Bernard. They're a beautiful dog. They're loyal, but the drools, oh my God. Oh.
Yeah.
Or a bloodhound.
Actually, what I would love to have, but I'm not going to spend the money on it, is the miniature pit bulls.
That's what Stratton was.
Well, these ones are miniature. I mean, they're small. They're like
Stratton was small. Stratton was about the size of a poodle.
Yeah, about. I just when I seen those, I fell in love with them. They've got ones that are like brindle. I love the gray and white ones. The gray and white ones are just so cute.
That's what Stratton was: gray and white brindle mini pit bull. But it was a shock when they found out he had colon cancer when he was only 3 years old.
Jeff's telling you wake up, Daryl.
I'm awake. I'm just letting everybody else talk. Try not
Now,
to interrupt a lot.
now, if I could find one that it was a mutt like me and my ex-wife had, he was the perfect size. He was just a little, you know, 30-pound little dog, just a little small thing. Uh, he he loved to go for rides, but he got car sick.
That's hard. They just got to be used to it. Is all.
Well, I had two Chihuahuas that I think they were the most photographed dogs I've ever seen. Because back in that time, that was when the cell phones were actually starting to come out with cameras and stuff on.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I walked past the truck, they always had their cell phone out, taking pictures of it because one would lay on the steering wheel, and he'd get excited if a woman walked past that truck. He'd get excited and start blowing the city horn on the truck. The other one was sit in the driver's seat with looking at the mirrors. I could not sneak up on that truck any direction I went through. They'd get all fired up, and all I could hear was the horn blowing in that truck, and everything else. So.
Oh, Bocce's ears must have been burning off. She showed up.
Yeah.
Hi, Bocce. Hey, Arch, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Art.
Bocce, I specifically went into the monetization and shut off the ads during the video. So you should only have them at the beginning and at the end. Hey, Wayne, how you doing? Mark, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for stopping in.
Hey, Wayne, Mark.
Yes, Maggie, I'll pet you. Oh my
Yes,
God!
we were talking about you about fussing about ads.
Yep.
Yes, Maggie.
I mean, I ain't seen no. We've been on 45 minutes, and I ain't seen nobody. Nobody fussed about ads yet. So you walked in.
Yep. When I was setting up the live stream, that her voice echoed in the back of my head, and I went specifically in and looked for that little check mark thing to make sure it was unchecked, so there was no ads during the live stream. So
was it the little voice in the back of your head, or was it tire squealing in the back of your head where she's slamming on the brakes? Yeah. Flying up and slamming on brakes at you.
a little, probably a little of both.
Come on, you're a pest. Get down.
Every time I hear a tire squeal, I still go like that. Flinches. PTSD, but that when I see minivan flying through a parking lot, I tuck and roll.
Are you trying to say Bocce drives like a drag queen?
No. She actually drives really good because she didn't hit anything. She had to be doing 60 through the parking lot.
I call that a dragger, drag queen. Someone that likes to speed.
You're right, Bocce. Your tires didn't squeal, but I thought you were going to scrape the paint off the front bumper of that minivan, though.
She's done scared to squeal out of her brakes. So I mean,
let me guess. She'd go through a set of brakes a year, or two sets.
Only when I'm walking through a parking lot.
I need one.
I'll
be all
right. But Bocce, it seemed like it was 60 mile an hour when you're coming through the parking lot.
It's probably like 80.
Mater. How you doing, Mater? Thank you for stopping in, bud. Appreciate it. So, and again, I'll just since we got a bunch of new people in here, if anybody's can get in contact with Demo Don, the Adventures of Demo Don that won the contest last weekend, we emailed back and forth a couple times, and he's never sent me an address to send him his stuff. So I don't know if he doesn't want it or if he just, something
Forgot
happened
about
to him. Something happened to him or what. But, I emailed him a couple times after our last, because he asked for some pictures. So I sent him pictures. And I emailed him a couple more times after that and haven't heard anything. So I don't want to re-give the stuff away. But if he doesn't want it, that's cool. I mean, just say, hey, I'm not interested. And we will, do it again and give it to somebody else.
Chill, Maggie.
Salt and pepper stamp. Cool.
Maggie, you are so high strung. It's not funny.
Yeah. Jeff said Bocce's the number one customer at the brake shop.
I'm sure she is. She probably goes to Mavis or wherever to give them a lifetime guarantee, and they probably avoided her lifetime guarantee because she wears them out so fast.
Actually, the CarQuest used to have brakes like that. They had lifetime guarantee on the pads, and after the fourth time I replaced them on my Dodge, they said, "No, you're not getting." I'm like, "Well, I'm just towing a trailer. It was a ton and a half. The trailer itself weighed a ton, and everything I put on it was another half a ton. So yeah, I would go through brakes relatively. About once a year, I'd put brakes on the thing. But yeah, they asked me that please don't buy. You'll have to pay for another set. I'm like, okay.
Sometimes they put warranties on stuff like that, hoping you lose the paperwork, so you can't. So they got an excuse not to give them
They hate people like they hate people like Ed who buys a vehicle looking good and then gets rid of it when it looks like Swiss cheese.
Well, see the bad part about it is like people like me, we have corporate accounts. We can go back and get our receipts. They can go back and run our receipts all the way back from the time we started buying stuff. So
yeah, but the only thing about the commercial accounts though is you can't is that if you're using it commercial, that warranty don't exist anyway. So
it does for us. Did for us when they still had those brakes.
Oh, okay.
Sea Monster, how you doing, bud? Thank you for stopping in. Bocce said she drove her last van for 6 years before it needed brakes.
Oh, you mean she was doing rotor to pad? Rotors of steel?
Maybe. I've actually started using the Napa Fleet brand, the Fleet line of their brake pads. They're heavy duty for like police cars and heavy use stuff like that. And I've had really good luck with the pads and rotors on them, especially like our work vehicles and stuff.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
They don't make them for every model, and yes, they are a little more expensive. But I haven't had any noises coming from them. Haven't had the rotors warped and everything. So I tried getting them for my pickup truck whenever I first got it to do the front brakes on it, and they didn't have them at the time. So, but I know like our 06 trucks and stuff like that. Most of all the pickup trucks now have them on them. There's a few of our vans that's got them on them. So. Hey, Antonio. How you doing, bud?
Antonio.
Hey, come on. Leave me alone. You're so full of piss and vinegar.
Ooh, that's getting pretty good for a motorcycle. 70,000 kilometers on the pads. My brother's, I think his truck was an 05 or an 06 3/4 ton, and he towed with it a lot. He had the Duramax diesel in it. He got almost 70,000 miles on factory brake pads. And when he went to do a brake pad on or brake change on it, he went back to the dealership and said, "I want factory pads and rotors." And they're like, "Why? Why?" It's like, "Because I got almost 70,000 miles out of them." They're like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." So he got them, and he did one brake job on that truck the whole time he had it. When he sold the truck, it still had really good really good pads and stuff on it. So
Maggie don't like me.
waiting for the paint to dry. Yeah, Bocce, I agree with that. You know, when you're hauling your loved ones around, when I used to have, you know, people that, you know, I'd haul around, I'd always take a whole lot better care of my vehicles than I do now because, you know, I'm driving it. You know, I would have never drove my 96 Ram with just rear brakes if I was still hauling people, you know, loved ones around in it. You know, but me, yeah, whatever.
Maggie, can I breathe, please?
Yeah, I agree. I agree, Scotty. Wear the pad out before the rotor. But I know a bunch of years back when we still had a couple Chevy Impalas at work. We were going through rotors, not pads, rotors, left, right, and sideways until we've actually figured out that we had the torque sticks and the torque sockets for torquing lug nuts down. We had both, you know, the torque extensions that are supposed to, you know, flex to a certain poundage, and the same thing with the sockets. They're supposed to be like a slip joint socket. Both of those were way off, and they weren't torquing the lug nuts down even. And when they would heat up and cool down, they would actually warp the rotor. So when we went to using an actual torque wrench to put the lug nuts back on when we got done working on them, that problem went away. So yeah, we really quickly got rid of all that stuff. The torque sticks and the torque sockets, they went bye-bye. They went into the recycling bin. We never used them again. So I'm a big advocate of doing the proper torque on lug nuts, especially aluminum rims. I've had a couple sets of aluminum rims come loose because they're not torqued right. So, yep.
My Impala is on its second set of rotors, and it's got 70,000 on it, just under 70, 68,000.
Yeah. Well, the other issue with those Impalas is they don't have like a dedicated driver. They're ones that we lend out for anybody can use them. So you have 50 million different driving styles. You know, some people are hard breakers, some people are, you know, yeah, Antonio, we actually didn't have cordless tools back when we were using those torque sticks. They were all air impacts. So we still had different, you know, because we went after we figured out what was going on, we used the one torque stick that was supposed to be used for that, you know, vehicle, and it varied probably 15 to 20 foot-pounds per lug nut. So, yep.
Scotty, we lost a set of duals on a Ford 1-ton pickup truck one time, but the thing about it was they on one side the suckers was left hand threads, the other side was right hand threads, and I mean we didn't actually torque them down, but we just put brakes shoes on the back of it, and he drove it to Myrtle Beach, and he had a car and his golf cart on it on the rollback, and the set of duals broke loose, and I mean, and this is the first trip he had ever done it, so he'd run that truck instead of still a short run like we usually do, and recheck them after a little short run or something. But we ended up just putting the studs and all in that doggone thing where they were both regular turn lugs because somehow or another they worked their way loose on that one side, and
Okay.
I know we had actually put them on with a pipe, so I know them suckers were on tight. We might have stretched them too much, but
Man, Maggie,
Uh,
come on.
Answering Antonio's, the torque sticks were Snap-on. We at that point in time, all of our specialty tools and stuff like that all come from Snap-on, and unless they had a bad batch or whatever, they
No.
and it was actually an Ingersoll impact gun, 1/2 inch impact gun. So, but the more people I talked to about them back then, they were all having the same issues with them, not torquing to this, close enough. So, all right, Bocce. All right, Botch. Thank you, dear, for stopping in, hanging out with us.
later, Botch.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know. That was 10 years ago or so or more. Just that's why I just use a torque wrench now. I know everything's good and tight. So, but yeah, I've never had a tire come completely off, but I have had ones loosen up and start making all kinds of weird and funky noises. So. All right, y'all. It's been an hour. I need to go take some more meds and get some sleep. So appreciate y'all stopping in, saying hi, and hanging out with me, and Daryl and Scott here. Appreciate y'all, and we will catch you all on the next one. Love, peace, and crackling grease. Booyah. So,
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
love y'all. Have a good night.
Love you.